Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mongoolie Show. Today we're going to go over the weekly blog. We're not doing it live. I'm not quite 100%, so I do apologize for that. We're not streaming this morning, but I will be streaming later tonight with my brother. We're going to do our top 5 romantic comedy movies on twitch.tv/The Mongoolie Show and here on YouTube. So make sure you hit subscribe over here or follow over on Twitch so that you know when we go live so you can be part of that. It should be a lot of fun. Other than that, we've got an absolutely massive blog to go over right now, so let's get into it. All right, now we're starting off with 5 different character kits. We're going to go through them relatively quickly because it would just take us a year to read all this stuff naturally. So the first one we're looking at is Black Knight. Now there is a ton of hype around this character. What I can tell you is he is not a legendary, but he does require dark promotional credits. Why are they doing that, you ask? There's a ton of characters that require dark promotional credits that aren't legendaries. This isn't new. Basically, whenever they think they're bringing out a character who's going to warp the meta a little bit, they like to use dark promotional credits. This guy is absolutely going to warp the meta. So be on the lookout for this character. He's going to be insane if any of the tests are accurate. I haven't played with him on the test site. I'm just saying, like, from everything you've been hearing, he's really, really strong. All right, this is as good a time as any to talk about this. This is the chart you're going to need for all of your different dark promotional credits for your characters. You can see that Black Knight is going to cost 500 red stars, 500 for his first red star, all the way up to 4,000 for his 7th red star. Now, if you were looking at this last night, you'll see that they did change how much Doom cost. He originally said 4,000, now he says 4,500. It was always 4,500 in the game. The chart was just wrong. The game was always 4,500. We also have a chart here for all the different dark diamond credits you'll need to put the 1, 2, and 3-star diamond on those characters. You can take a look here. I'll try and blow it up and make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. I might as well also show you this real quick. This image comes to us from, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Kanek, I apologize. He's a fellow envoy. He did put this in the sharing folder, so I'm hoping he won't have an issue with me showing this to you. It's just the out-of-time team and all of the uniques that they're going to need, so you can start planning ahead and saving up now for the characters that you're going to want to take to gear tier 18, or higher for that matter. All right, we're going to just skim through these character kits pretty quickly. So as far as Black Knight goes, what you need to know is he is a hero, global, skill, protector, and he's part of the out-of-time team. He has a speed of 117, and all of his names for his attacks are brilliant. We start off with Flesh Wound. It's going to clear 1 random positive effect. It's going to apply 1 defect to himself as well as any ally, and if that ally is an out-of-time character, it'll give them an additional deflect. The ISO counter does basically the same thing. His special is going to be None Shall Pass. It costs 4 and you start with 4. It's going to clear all negative effects from self and all allies. That's huge. It's going to heal self for 20% of max health. It's going to give ability block, which is fantastic. It's going to give taunt, safeguard, and 2 charge to a maximum of 3, and any enemy killed by it cannot be revived. His ultimate is Tis But a Slash, which is not quite the quote, but we'll go with it. It costs 5, but you only start with 3, so you have to work your way up to this one. Gonna give 500% piercing, plus 30% of this character's max health as damage. Gonna gain 1 charge up to a maximum of 3, and also enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. Gains an additional piercing equal to the character's bonus armor and cannot be dodged or counterattacked. His passive, Merlin's Champion. On spawn, gain taunt, defense up for 2 turns, immunity, 5 charge to a maximum of 5, and then on turn you're going to gain another charge to a maximum of 3. So I think 5 is the maximum charge you can ever have, and then after that initial 5 you can only ever go back up to 3. On any turn, the first time this character has no charge, fill this character's speed bar by 100%. And if this character has charged but not exhausted, when an enemy attacks him, you're going to clear all barriers on that enemy, attack the enemy for 30% of this character's max health. Enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. This is going to be insane. You're going to want people attacking this guy constantly. Clear immunity on that enemy and apply heal block, trauma, and 3 bleed to that enemy, and then you'll lose 1 charged. This guy is bananas. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, gains 1000% extra focus, and in arena, this character has charge, the speed bar cannot be reduced. This guy is going to be an absolute monster in the game for a while, to be perfectly frank. He's going to do ridiculous things to Super Skrull. He's just going to be so impactful. All right, Cosmic Ghost Rider's next, and he's a little bit different. It's an interesting kit. We'll take a look at this. He's a hero, cosmic, controller, mystic, out of time, and he has a whopping speed of 121. His Cosmic Whiplash, his basic, is going to have some interesting effects to it. Damage is increased by 25% per positive effect on this character, which is good. And then it gets really interesting. In war, and if this character is not at full energy, and if the primary target is a controller, then you can apply ability block to the primary target. That's a lot of hoops to jump through. You're going to have to know which characters you're attacking and make sure that they are the ones that, yes, they do have the controller tag. Now, that being said, when that works, you get an ability block off of basic. That feels really good, but there's some hoops there. His ISO attack does basically the same thing. His special is Vengeance Slide. This one looks really cool. It costs 4 and starts with 4. Attack all enemies for 425% damage. Damage is increased by 25% per positive effect. You're going to flip 2 positive effects into negative effects, or flip all positive effects on all protector allies. There's a lot of things here where you're going to have to actually know what the opponent is to get the best benefit out of this. Apply defense, down, and heal block to all enemies, and apply stun to enemy protector with the highest speed, ignoring taunt and stealth. Intergalactic Punishment is his ultimate. It costs 5 and you start with 3. You're going to clear all barrier on the primary target, attack primary target for 500% damage. You're going to apply stun and trauma, and you're going to clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side. That's incredible. You can get rid of your Red Hulk ultimate ability. You can get rid of your Nova ultimate ability. I don't know how often that's going to come up, but man, when it does, that's going to feel really good. His passive is just called The Rider, and it says, after an enemy uses an ultimate ability, if this character is not exhausted, bury yourself and all out-of-time enemies for 30% of this character's max health. In war, you're going to lower the focus by 5,000% and damage by 50% for any non-Mephisto enemy that takes a turn before this character or an ally. If this character has 4 more out-of-time allies, which you probably will, enemy speed bar that is gained on spawn is increased by 100%. Why would you do that? Because of what I just read. You're going to make the enemy go faster, so they go before you, so they're going to use all of their ultimate abilities, and they will not hit you. This is a really, really cool mechanic that I don't think we've seen in this game at all, where you're going to speed up your opponents, and it's going to benefit you that they're faster than you. I'm really curious how this one's going to work. The last one is Starbrand. Now, this feels like he's going to be the Korg of the list, the character that you're probably going to skip if you're going to skip anybody. He is a hero, global, brawler, mystic, out of time with a speed of 116. His basic is Ancient Fury. You're going to deal 325% damage, apply offense down, and attack the enemy with the highest damage, ignoring taunt and stealth. You're going to see that with this character a little bit here, where he keeps ignoring things. His ISO just does damage. His special, the primary Star Strike, costs 4 and starts with 4. Attack primary target for 400% damage, apply slow and reduce speed bar by 15% and 10% per out of time member or Black Panther member. So if you got the full out of time team, what that means is you're going to lower the speed bar 15, 25, 35, 45. Means you're going to lower the speed bar by 55%, which is pretty darn good. You're going to attack adjacent targets for 350% damage, applying slow and reducing speed bar by an additional 15%. Sorry, not an additional, just 15 to them as well as the 55 to the main target. And attack the enemy with the highest speed, ignoring taunt or stealth for 325% damage, applying 1 slow and reduce the speed bar by 15%. This attack cannot be blocked or dodged. Now, what I'm not 100% sure on is that an additional attack that's going to attack the enemy with the highest speed, or is that just saying that this attack is going to attack the enemy with the highest speed? I'm not 100% sure on that. It'd be kind of cool if it does a primary attack, adjacent attacks, and attacks the character with the highest speed. That feels like that'd be really good, but maybe it's just saying it's only going to target that character with the highest speed. Ultimate is Primeval Wrath. It also, seeing a pattern here, you start with 3 and it costs 5. Attack primary target for 600% damage, apply stun, and flip all positive effects into negatives. That's pretty good. Attack adjacent targets for 500%. Very good. Attack the most injured enemy, ignoring taunt and stealth for 500%, and apply stun and flip all positives into negatives. So that sounds like that is in fact going to be a separate attack, which probably means the first one's going to be a separate attack, which means he's going to be attacking a lot of people on his turns, which is nice. Enemies killed by this cannot be revived, and in war, this ignores defense up. His passive is pretty basic. It's just going to give a bunch of health and damage to different characters from Out of Time and Black Panther. But the nice thing is that on spawn, he's going to apply immunity to himself and all Out of Time allies. Now, we do have an update for Peggy Carter and Captain America. The only real things worth noticing is she's going to gain 35% resist as well as minor stats to other things. And it includes the Out of Time characters in her kit. And for Captain America, he's getting a whopping 41% health while also adding Out of Time to his kit. Both of these characters I've already got built up to gear tier 18 because I took them to Dark Dimension 6, so I'm very happy to see them getting reworked so quickly. I think what they're doing recently, where they're taking certain number of new characters, certain number of older characters, mixing them together and making a team, is really, really, really nice. It means you don't have to be buying 5 new characters whenever they come out. You've already got a leg up on them. Like, my symbiotes were not very high, so my Carnage and Venom were still pretty low, but at least I already had them at 7 red stars. Like, that's a huge start. The fact that I've already got Captain America and Peggy so built up is going to be huge for this team when they come out. I think this is a really good change. What do you guys think? Do you like that they're doing this with so many reworks, or would you like to see more new characters? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, now that we're done with kit reveals, we can move on to the actual blog. What we're going to see is that Black Knight is going to be coming to the game on February 16th. You can get him for 675 power cores per orb, or you can spend money to unlock this character at that time. He's going to be in the red star orbs at the same time, so as always, like, that's all very, very basic information. What is new is that there is this new Pact of Greed. Just like we just had with the meat suit for Nova, there's going to be a new there's going to be a new suit for Green Goblin, but this one actually looks pretty cool. Is it worth spending all that money on to unlock? I don't know, but it looks a hell of a lot better than the meat suit did, so I'll give them props for that. Now, you're going to have to do the exact same thing where you have to buy 3 different special offers. The first special offer will unlock Black Knight, so that's super tempting because he's an amazing character. The costume for Green Goblin does look good, maybe, but if you're not going to spend money in this game anyways, I don't think it's enough to entice you to. But for those who are spending money already, it is nice that they're going to get that little bonus. It is purely cosmetic. You are not losing out on anything if you don't purchase this offer. Now, the next monthly character is going to be Red Goblin, so let's take a look at that chart. So you can see there are 125 shards for Red Goblin available throughout the month of February. They're going hard into the Valentine's Day-ness of it all. Now, it's weird because we're already on, like, the 10th or something, so it's weird that this hasn't started yet. The months are getting really skewy, but go with it here. You're going to be earning Valentine's Day cards, Cupid's bow and arrow, and a tulip bouquet. Those are how you're going to be doing these things, with the monthly item being the Carnage symbiote vial. Now, there is actually a decent amount of gold on here, but if you're like me, you're probably struggling for training mats more than gold at this point. So while I will absolutely take all the gold they want to give me, it would have been nice to have seen some serious training mats on this list. And maybe I'm just missing them, but I don't see any training mats on here whatsoever, and that's a little disappointing. They do also have a leaderboard attached to this, and if you take a look, you can see that if you make it to the 2%, you can get Diamond Orb Fragments as well as Diamond Champion Orb Fragments. Now, I personally wish they'd spread these out a little bit more because you're not getting any diamonds if you're 3% or lower. It would have been nice if the Diamond Orb Fragments went a little bit like into maybe like the 25% range, and then you got Diamond Orb Champions to push you a little bit higher. Maybe they start at the top 500 or something, so that you've got something to really push for, but you also have a chance of at least getting a diamond. The fact that like 98% of players in this game will not get a single diamond from this is a little unfortunate. It is what it is, I guess. Like they're just the diamond credits. You're going to get them anyways. But I mean, it would even Diamond Dawn orbs, where they're mostly 7 red stars, I would even have accepted that somewhere on this list. But oh well, it is what it is. It's just a leaderboard. Do your best. The next battle pass coming out is going to star the Hive Mind, specifically Void Knight, which is really good to get such a strong character, such a new character already being added to the battle pass. We saw this already with some of the Extreme X-Men teams. I love that they're doing this. They're being true to their word of making it more likely for you to have a 7-star character in that 6-month window. The fact that they're doing this again, they're keeping this ball going, is really, really nice. If you missed the Absolute Carnage costume, he will also be available during this time, so you might want to check that battle pass out. It starts on Monday. Also starting on Monday is a hard candy campaign energy spending event. What you're going to be doing is playing as many campaigns as you possibly can to earn your heart candies. They have not told us what the ratio is going to be, and that will get you a ton of points. There's going to be a feeder event that we'll get into in a second, but as far as this event goes, you're going to need 88,000 points to max this out. You're going to be given 10 Red Goblin shards. You can get the Valentine's Day card. You can get a bunch of the Carnage symbiote vials. There's 4 million gold on the line, as well as 3 diamond orb fragments if you can make it low enough. Now, as far as that feeder event goes, you're going to be wanting to earn war credits over a 7-day period. This is a solo event, which is nice. You're going to be getting a bunch of Carnage symbiote vials, as well as 3, 6, 9, 12, 15,000 Roses Are Red milestone points to go towards the other event. So that's pretty decent. You'll also get 1,000,000 gold, which is nice. This should be really easy to do if you're participating in wars whatsoever. The Quick Rumble event is going to be War Dogs. That'll start next Friday. Hell and Back is the new showcase going on. It's going to be for the Out of Time team. It doesn't technically say when it starts, but I have to assume it's going to start at the same time that Black Knight actually gets released in the game. So be on the lookout for that. Now, the test drive difficulty, most people are going to scoff at, but just keep in mind, it is really, really nice for newer players to unlock some of those characters that they might not already have. I strongly recommend, if you are a newer player, make sure you get that done. Make sure you get all those stars for those characters. I have a baby account, and I've got to say, this has been a great way for me to get some of the symbiote characters or the X-Men characters from the previous test drive events. Are they the best characters? No, not necessarily. But if you don't have Captain America, Captain Carter, US Agent, The Thing, Agent Coulson, or Mockingbird, it's a nice event to unlock some of those people. The Elite Store is getting a big bonus coming up. We're going to be getting on Tuesday Dormammu, Iron Man Zombie, and Spider-Man Big Time Diamonds available, as well as the Green Goblin Classic Red Stars. If you've been looking for those Red Stars from Green Goblin, and I know I have, this is going to be how you're finally going to be able to get them. I'm looking forward to this one a lot. It's also worth noting that there is going to be a new war season starting tomorrow. The reward is going to be diamonds for Titania, which is going to be fine. I participate in war. I enjoy war, but I am not a strong war player, so I'm not going to go over these rooms too much. There are a lot of good content creators who go over these more in depth if that's what you're interested in. Your war defenses that worked last time should, for the most part, work this time. Keep in mind, Rebirth will not be getting the same bonus. Instead, this time it's going to be the new warriors. So make sure you got your new warriors on defense. They are going to be an absolute brick wall for some players to try and run into, especially the first week when people aren't expecting it. They are going to get you some good wins. Make sure they're on your defense. That was a huge weekly blog, and we made it all the way through. Thank you for sticking around. If you did make it this far, please consider hitting the like button. You probably did like this content. And if you enjoyed this and you want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 600 subscribers. I can taste it. It would be amazing if you could do that. If you want to catch more of me or hang out with me live, you can do that over at twitch.tv/TheMongoolie Show. Later today, I'm going to be recording my top 5 romantic comedies with my brother about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on, hit follow over there. Make sure you see when that goes live. It's also being broadcasted here on YouTube, so if you don't like Twitch, you can hang out with me over here. I will still respond to your comments. Other than that, commanders, have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Good luck to you.